Hola, ¿qué tal a todos? De este lado de la cámara, Leo Moreno para Depósito Sonoro en Ciudad de México, con la gran oportunidad de poder platicar hasta el otro lado del mundo con Andreas Unge de Cumbia Connection, esta dupla creativa originaria de Estocolmo, Suecia, que está empapada de latinismos, cumbias y sonidos, pues más tropicalosos y ricos y que han hecho su carrera a través de eso. Hola Andreas, ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo va todo por allá? Hello.
Hola, hola. I'm fine, perfect. I'm fantastic. I'm here in Mallorca. It's my terrace.
Oh,
They made
beautiful.
uh, they made the floor today here, so
That's great, man. That looks great
it's very
weather.
beautiful.
That's
Very, very
great,
good
man.
weather.
And I think that it's a beautiful day in so many ways because, or these days, because you are just presenting new music. And the third single from your EP, El Destino, which will be available very soon, is out now. No hay otra como tú. There is no other one like you. Man, what a great, enjoyable song, Andreas. We loved it. How are you feeling
You like
about the
it?
launching? Yes, of course.
Yeah, I feel now we are releasing very strong content and with a great spirit. This recording just happened. Sometimes in the studio a song start and its end in another way that you couldn't imagine, because different people is making their touch on the songs. So, for
Okay.
example, this project we are working with Daniel Fridell. He's a great keyboard player, and he has a band called Cumbia Sound.
Yeah.
And we are collaborating with him also. Sometimes we are inviting musicians, and he just put some drums on the
Yeah.
last that just turned everything around for me. So that track sounds like nothing else for me. I mean, I didn't hear all the music in the world, but just this song, the last, it was some unique vibe. It's kind of some Scandinavian with some African touch and some kind of Jose Gonzalez voices of the sound. Yeah, it's a very strange mix. I'm gonna be honest. We are not like a normal cumbia band, because
Yeah.
we are from Sweden. We are inspired by a lot of stuff. So we call it Cumbia Connection, but it's just a blend of a lot of stuff. But that
Yeah.
song, the last single, I think was a special one.
Yeah, it's a really interesting fusion what you guys do. Of course, you have your own brand, your own firm of cumbia, and something that reminds me. I was reading something, I have it around here, and the description that you describe this song "No hay otra como tú" as musically it has a 12/8 rhythm and a mix of different rhythms. It's a love
Yes.
song, and the strange thing is that maybe the song has still not decided if it's in a major or in a minor tune,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
maybe a little of, or maybe a little both, like love. I love that
Yeah.
description of the song because you are giving it the power, or not the power, maybe the song decides, and I love that. How that
Yeah.
came to mind, man.
And also, you don't know who's the song about. That's
Yeah.
also because both me and Thomas as girlfriends, or you don't know anything. And I'm in Mallorca here, or he's in Mallorca a lot. So yeah, but how the song is. Yeah, normally me and Thomas is always starting with the songs with just a guitar on together, vibing with some grooves.
Yeah.
And sometimes we just put it in the computer. But as I said, this song had this groove from the beginning, but then for when the drum set came in, it changed a lot. And it was just something happened, and also Thomas melody on that. blend. It came. That's why I say sometimes I'm starting with the riff on the guitar, and something and Thomas get inspired by a melody, but the production can take. It can go to many different ways. You know, I think sometimes our problem, not a problem, but our difficulties can be like when we do a song, there are so many small melodies from some different instrument. It can be guitar or a keyboard that, you know, you need to kill your darlings, because sometimes we put too many different stuff on the production. And this is something I think very good producer are great. They're good to take away stuff from a song.
Yeah, I get it.
You know
perfectly.
what I mean?
Of course, I
follow
you.
And I think that's a challenge always to kill your, like, there are some nice melodies always that you should take away, because then the lead melody of the vocal is actually always the most important. So you don't fight with too many melodies. This is just my own personal thought about when you do productions, and then you're listening after a couple of months, then you can hear it in another way.
Yeah, of course, another with perspective.
Yeah. So, yeah, but now on Friday it's coming an EP, I think, or did you hear all the songs? Yeah,
it's the New Music Friday, the last of the month, and your EP El Destino,
yeah,
Destiny,
exactly.
is coming out this Friday, I suppose, because it said the information at the end of September. So I have heard 3 of the songs, you know, the 2 previews, this now.
You didn't hear all the EP?
No, not yet, but we're gonna be checking it out on Friday. You know, and what I loved also about this new single, my friend, is, you know, you said it, there's Africanisms in a way. There's like this South American feeling at some moment, like chicha. And also it came to mind the kind of work that some, as an influence, of course, that Manu Chao does. So I think it's a beautiful fusion, man. How are you planning, Andreas, to take this to the stage? Are you working on that now? Of course, I suppose.
Yes.
You are working remotely. How are you rehearsing to take all this, to materialize at the stage, all this fusion?
I think there are 2 ways these days. One way is that you are a band who have played for 10, 20 years when you were young, and you are together as a band, and you start recording, and then you in this way, me and Thomas want to make a project together. Okay, so we are both musicians with different bands, you know, Kaya Real or different projects, or a produce, you know. So we want to have a project where we can collaborate with music, you know.
Yes.
And of course, for me, Thomas is very strong in Spanish, his personality. So that's why we choose this style, you know. But now we actually kind of think it's so fun to do this that we are bringing it to the next step and kind of casting different musicians that we want to bring in the more live set. And as I said, like Daniel Fridell, he's of course a fantastic musician, the keyboard player from Cumbia Sound. We have another guy in Sweden who has his own solo career, who also sings in Spanish, that is doing kind of Manu Chao-ish. So we want to, and then Gunnar, the guitar player, and the piano player from Kairia. So we want to bring personalities in the band. They don't need to be the most technical musician. They don't need to be the most fantastic. They need to just find the bigger picture and having a spirit in this project and a nice vibe. It can be the guy we're going to bring for percussion. It can be a guy who maybe don't play percussion, but he has a nice groove, you know. So I think we are open to collaborate now with the live scene, and we have some musicians that we are trying out now for developing the live scene, you know. So I think
Yes.
it's coming with the more. That's why we do a work with the platform for the streams and Spotify and Apple and all this, to get some kind of exposure. So you can actually start coming to some different countries. So
Yeah.
I mean, and we would like to do a project in Mexico that we are kind of actually bringing some. I work with like maybe Cumbia Connection, and a girl called Carolina. You should check her out. I also produced that Carolina.
Okay.
It's in Spanish.
Carolina.
So
Okay.
all
Great.
Carolina. So all
Yes.
these projects, we would like to kind of maybe get some funds from Swedish state to go to Mexico. Maybe we do a stage with some different. Everything is Spanish, but everything is from Sweden, and
Yeah.
invite some Mexican band to do one very nice event with Sweden, Mexico, and this kind of music. So this is what we are kind of trying to pull off, maybe for
Yeah.
January, February this time. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It would be lovely to see you in Mexico, because I think that our culture will appreciate very much the work you are doing, because, as you say, it's a connection, and it has a lot of touch points from different cultures in the world, with the base of the rhythm, or the cadence of music. But I wanted to ask you, my friend, I love the letter, because at some point, the letter of the new single, it says, you are so pretty and I'm ugly.
Oh, you meant that?
And I read also
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the new
This
song,
is a
Hay
good.
Otra Como Tú. It says it in a moment. It says, yeah.
This is a good question,
Yeah,
but
but
I
go ahead.
think
Sorry. This is a good one.
this is something that maybe Thomas can tell in the next interview or not, because we need to, he is the has some small secrets with the lyrics. So I
He's
think we
really
need to.
ugly.
No, I mean, but I think
I'm kidding. I'm
let's check
kidding.
with him for next time. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's check
but I
with
read
Tom.
that the song, it was maybe like a song for Thomas' daughter or son. I don't remember, but then it
Son,
was meant
his
to be a
son.
song
Yeah.
dedicated to his son. Yeah. I don't remember.
Yeah.
And then it
He
became this little, like
changed.
romantical, and it's really, really cool, because love is love, and
Yeah.
but maybe you were feeling the music in some way that you said this is more like a romantic than maybe family thing.
Yeah, it can be both. I mean, sometimes people who are in the lyrics, they don't want to talk too much, so people can get their own feeling what's about a little bit. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's great.
But
That's really interesting. Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, so you didn't hear the song El Destino? You haven't heard that song yet?
No.
Oh,
But
because
I'm gonna
it's
check.
gonna
Yeah.
be a surprise, because it, I would say it has also this. I mean, it's a little bit. It's very funky, and it has the horns, but they are
Yeah.
so compressed and without kind of reverb. They are very in your face in a very
Okay.
dirty way. I love the horns in that track. You're gonna like it, I think.
That's great, for
Uh,
sure.
uh,
I've been liking so far your work, guys. It's really interesting, really cool.
yeah, because for me it's like a ladder. We are developing, so we are starting, and I think it's better and better, if I'm going to be honest. And I think like the point
Yeah.
is to release every month now, and actually next week we're going to
Yeah.
meet Thomas and me in Stockholm and write,
Okay.
and we 4 new tracks, and we already has booked the studio. And the same also with Daniel and Gunnar. So we're gonna do it live in the studio, and those tracks will be more fast songs.
Okay.
We're gonna take up the tempo, and we're gonna
Uh-huh.
go quite speed tracks. Because we always wanted. come with something different,
Yeah, of course.
and
Offering
we will
something new.
and turn around in ourselves always and push ourselves to do it on the limit as we can,
Yeah, man,
So
for sure.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
sorry, I wanted to ask you because I was thinking of something you said just a minute ago. I haven't heard this track, The Destiny, right? But it's the track which names the EP or vice versa. It doesn't matter, no? But why El Destino? Why the concept of a destiny, man? How you and Tom got to that? Because it's, really, really huge, a really huge concept, destiny.
Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes we are thinking about big question and smaller question, and I mean, and I think both Thomas and me, we don't want to be like political. We don't want to be too pretentious, this word,
Yeah.
But of course, we are in this world, and it's happening a lot in the world now. It's kind of a little bit special times, especially from our point here in Europe, with some dark times, people actually, there are war in the world and all this, so I mean, Thomas has a child, and there are coming questions from the young generation about environment, about war, about insecurity, about climate, about the immigration problem, that people takes the boats from Mediterranean Sea, and they lose their life. So we don't want to go too deep, or we want to make joyful music, but still we are
in the world,
thinking people that are also having this side, that we are, of course, want the good part or the good side of the world to succeed, and not the negative or the damaging side of the humanity, So it's kind of sometimes bigger questions, but those questions has, for me, always personally always matter a lot, because for me life is really a coincidence of so many things happening. And I was very inspired by an author, Paul Auster, when I was younger. And he always write about these topics, and why, like this apartment, for example, here, this apartment, last summer, it burnt down. From completely damaged. And it was a shock, and it was a trauma. But what happened? I fight, and we had a good insurance, and by a coincidence, my girlfriend had a designer friend. So the day before the fire, we talked, could you imagine if she do the design of this terrace, And what happened? That's the lady who did it. And we had, it's just this kind of strange things in life. So this trauma went to a fantastic things, because the apartment went so much better, and we were so lucky to have insurance, this kind of thing. So I don't know, it has to do, but I'm very I think the most important thing is to be very thankful, in what you have in your life, and don't be negative, and be very thankful, because just to be born in this life, you already is a big winner, of 1 billion of sperms. You were the first one. You already has win, and you are alive. So that's also destiny. So I don't know. I think we don't want to. We are we do this music because we want like grooves, and we are inspired by different culture. But of course, we are interested in other topics also.
Man, thank you. That's really interesting because you used a really great example to explain about the destiny. You know, you never know which one is the person, or you never know the way. There's a phrase that says you're gonna find your destiny in the road you took to avoid it. I don't remember which person said that. Man, Andreas, Europe, Africa, Brazil, Senegal, Ethiopia, Cuba, Marruecos, Mali, etc. You've been all around the world, man. Which place where of all the more you've been is the weirdest for Andreas Zunge? Maybe not in a bad way. Maybe not in a bad way, but the weirdest in a way, you know? Yeah.
The weirdest, and it's not weird, but just the most different culture for me.
Yeah.
And a very unique culture is, because I've been there a lot, is Ethiopia.
Okay.
It's a country who actually was not really colonized also in Africa. The only country who, and they kept their culture very, very, very deep. And that country, that music, the food, the smells, the dance, it's, I would say, very different from many other places. So that question, I would say, yes, Ethiopia is very special.
Okay, that's great. We would love to visit it. It must be like another country, like another planet in some things, right?
Yeah, a completely another place. Of course, yeah, if you're in the middle of China, it's different, of course. If you're in in the Sahara Desert in south of Algeria, it's very different. You know, all places has very unique places.
Now that you mentioned that, when I was listening the song, like the second, third time, I don't remember, yesterday, I was remembering Mdu Mokhtar.
Yes, Mdu Mokhtar. He's from Niger.
Yeah, you said Argelia. Yeah, sorry, I got confused. But also I was listening the song, and I thought of him.
It's the same. It's the same style of South Algeria as south of Niger. Yes, of course, it's the Tuareg music. Actually, I talked to him a couple of weeks ago about maybe work together.
That's great, man.
Yeah, he actually has a Swedish girlfriend, so he's a lot in Sweden. So by coincidence. But you need to see the movie he's in, where he's they do a reissue of the movie, the Purple Rain with Prince, but they do it like in Niger with him as Prince, but the electric guitar player and artist. So it's the same. It's a fantastic movie. You have to see it.
Man, thank you very much for the recommendation. I didn't know that, and that's a great recommendation. And I thought because of the music, you know, because of the Africanisms you have, and I was listening to the song, and that got me also a little bit to Manu Chao and to Mdu Mokhtar in a way, because Manu Chao also worked with a lot of African people. So what's coming for besides the launching this Friday, New Music Friday of the El Destino EP? What are you preparing, guys? What you're about to do? I suppose you're going to be starting playing in Europe, and then
exactly. So like, you know, like I said, our goal now is to release a lot of music, to get some audience and work with the music and be very productive to actually record a lot of music. So as I said, next week we go in the studio. So because we have put the release plan every month until December. So we have another EP already, the date and everything, and singles all this year out. So now we record, so we continue in January, February, March to release music. In the same time, start working on the live path, you know. So I think that's it's going hand in hand, you know. and try to also develop ourselves, you know, because it's
Oh,
like a
yes.
journey, you know. It's as a producer, you know, when I work with, for example, other artists from other countries, I always want to make something. For example, I did an album with an Asma Hamsawi. She's from Morocco. We
Okay.
did it in this summer. It's and it's Gnawa music from she's playing the instrument called gimbri, and it's only female who's playing in this project, and they
Okay.
are so strong. So it's traditional music, but I want to make the sound powerful, like D'Angelo produced it or something, you know. But it's Moroccan, very roots music. So we have so much influence to take from in Cumbia Connection. But I think, you know, the destiny, I don't know the path, if I'm going to be honest. Let's see.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, we're about, time is running out. Got a
Okay.
couple more questions, my friend. I wanted to ask you, which element, if that's right, which element of Swedish music do you push in the Cumbia Connection? What would that be?
Yeah.
Or maybe not, man. You know what I mean? Because I was listening
Yeah.
to the songs and I was thinking what Stockholm sounds like, for example.
Yeah.
But that's the question.
Okay. I would say if there is something, it's some
Yes.
melancholy. Some
Okay.
melancholy.
Yeah, the feeling.
Yeah, because I like minor scale better than major. You know, we are a little bit, we have the darkness here, the
Yeah.
winter, you know, we have this a little bit, you know, melancholy touch of our personalities, I would say, you know. We are not like, you know, so maybe I think that's why we love the music, because we want to be positive and we like the groove, and you know, but Sweden has a little bit, you know, a dark climate. The winter is tough, you know, it's very dark, so we need some cumbia music to be happy, you know.
Man, that's a great
Yeah.
answer. Thank you very much. Andreas, any music you would like to recommend just to end this interview for our audience in Depósito Sonoro in Mexico City? Some music, maybe new, maybe not,
Mhm.
musicians
Yeah.
you think are do really great work for people to listen?
Yeah. I mean, like what I like really like, and I listen a lot to an album, and I like the production. It's the
Mhm.
Rodrigo Amarante. Uh,
Sí, Rodrigo
he,
Amaranto, yeah.
he did singing the Narcos theme, the Tuyo,
Yes, of course. Yes, of
and
course.
his album, I think El Mar or La Mar, it's song there. It's so fantastic. It's also in 6/8. Check that song.
Okay.
It's fantastic guitar. It has some African touch of the guitar. This is something I really like, this album. But you know, there are so incredible a lot, so much music. Like I love music in Spanish. I like Laza de Sela. Did she live in
Okay.
Mexico, or is she from Canada, or do you know
Can you
where?
can you can you come again the
La,
name?
La, Laza de Sela, Laza,
Lazo de
H.
Cel.
Yeah,
Huh?
check it out. It's
No,
amazing.
I haven't checked it out. Rodrigo Amaranto, of course, I know him, but I'm gonna check that. Laza de Sela, you say?
Yeah, unfortunately, she's not alive, but she
Okay.
has a unique voice. Unique.
Oh, okay. No, that's great. We love to have the recommendations of all the artists we have the opportunity to talk with. Thank for our audience, of course. Thank you very much for your time, Andreas, and the best of successes with everything you do, of course, and with the Destiny.
Let us know what you think about the EPs
For
in some
sure.
kind of, give us a message or something. I would really want to hear what you like, if you like that song,
Yeah,
the
man.
new track.
For sure, I'm gonna write you next week. I'm gonna listen to it this Friday, and for sure through Party, I'm gonna connect with you guys because
Yeah,
I think it's
exactly.
lovely. And you said that's the headline of the article, man. where maybe like that, where we are from, you know, it's cold and sometimes dark, whatnot, and we need some joyful music, you know, because music is the cure. So I love that. Thank you very much, Andreas. We're gonna be doing an article, you know, like reviewing the work, of course.
Fantastic.
So you're gonna have it. The best of successes and a big hug to Tom. It will be great to talk to him.
Thomas,
maybe soon.
I will say hello from you. Fantastic.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you for good questions, as always.
Thank you, man, and hopefully we'll see in Mexico City soon.
Okay.
Have a great one. Congratulations, man. Ciao.
Okay. Bye.